Hello guys, welcome to Fanden. How are you guys doing? Hope you had a fantastic day or having a fantastic day. So today I'm doing a video with regards to UEFA Cup and the results and also the draw. A bit of info with regards to Fanden. I've got some groups going on Instagram for any of you guys that are interested. I have had one group going on Instagram that has been going for quite a while, for a few months now, which has given me the opportunity to learn and obviously improve and work out ways I can get you guys involved and also get you guys to feel a part of Fanden. I've also started up a group on Facebook for those of you guys that are on Facebook. So if you're interested in either of them, drop me a message and we'll look to get you involved. Apologies for the last video that I did, guys, with the comments. I did a video with my mate Paul, a Man United fan, and I also did a video with, if I remember his name rightly, I think it was AJ, Motherwell fan. Unfortunately, the comments was turned off on them videos through the fact that YouTube have changed the way that you load up videos to do with child protection, which obviously child protection is a great idea, but I didn't know that that if you pick that option that it turns off the comments and that you have to turn it on manually or whatever way you want to call it. So now I'm aware of it. Hopefully I won't make that mistake in the future. So as I say, guys, I apologize for that because obviously every time I do a video I tell you guys to drop your comments below, and in the last two videos it wasn't possible for you to do that, so my apologies. So now, guys, we move on to European football and the Europa League. Let's start with Celtic, who had an absolutely disappointing night last night. And I've got to say it, I've got to call a spade, that basically Celtic have become very disappointing in Europe. I've got nothing against Celtic. They've got some fantastic fans. They create an absolutely awesome atmosphere at Celtic Park, which is brilliant and something to treasure in respect of UK football, because it is a very passionate club with respect to you guys that are Celtic fans, and I love that. But I've got to say it, guys. In Europe, Celtic are so disappointing, and the reason I say that is because it's okay, Celtic fans, you know, saying about how you know you're dominating the Scottish League, which, you know, I congratulate you for, but you know you're not passing, you're not what's the word, you're not relating that in European competitions as far as I'm concerned. And obviously as a fan of European football, in respect of liking to see UK clubs involved in it and doing well with it, every season I want to see a Scottish club do well in it, because obviously I am English, so yeah, I know that English clubs, I want them to do well in it. And obviously in the last couple of years, especially with Liverpool, you know, doing so well in it, it's been fantastic seeing English clubs do well in it. But I also want to see Scottish clubs do well in it. I really do. I genuinely mean that. I want to see all UK clubs do well in it. And to keep seeing Celtic fall at the last 32 is really disappointing as a UK football fan. So yeah, guys, if you're a Celtic fan, drop your comments below. Let me know, what is the problem with Celtic in Europe? Why is it that Celtic are failing to get past this last 32 stage in the Europa League? Is it the players? Is it the manager? What is it? You know, this is what Fanden is about. It's for you guys to talk and obviously get involved and have your say about what is good and bad about your club and obviously general UK football. But for me, like I said, guys, very disappointing to see Celtic drop out last night. On to Rangers. A lot more positive. They did absolutely fantastic, getting a 1-0 win away. which was great, and is overall in the two legs they did brilliant, because originally they were 2-0 down and came from 2-0 down to obviously win the first leg 3-2, and then travelled away and won 1-0, winning the tie overall 4-2, which is absolutely brilliant for Rangers. A real positive. If you're a Rangers fan, you should be walking around with your head held high, because yeah, obviously I know you guys that I've talked to that are Rangers fan are desperate to see Rangers win number 55, as you call it, in the league, and obviously do something positive in the Scottish League. But obviously doing well in Europe is a really positive thing, and it can only be helpful to you guys improving to actually, challenge Celtic in respect of getting the opportunity to win the Scottish Premiership. So my hat comes off to you guys in respect of how well you did over the two legs and managing to get into the last 16 of the competition. And it's going to be great to see a Scottish club in the last 16. Across the board now, guys, to Arsenal, and they played a strong team last night. But I've got to ask the question, what is going on with Arsenal? They're so up and down in the last couple of years. They managed to get to the Europa League final last season, so obviously seeing them drop out at the last 32 stage against Olympiacos was a bit of a surprise, and very disappointing as a UK football fan. So I've got to ask the question, guys, what is it that's causing the problem with Arsenal being so up and down? For me, I've got to say it, I think it's David Luiz, and we've got to ask the question, why did Chelsea let David Luiz go? In my opinion, no disrespect to him, but I think he's had the best years are behind him, if you like. He is a great player, very passionate, always tries and puts the effort in, but is he coming to the end of his his best years now? The question's got to be asked, and if that is the case, is it that Arsenal have basically ended up getting a player that basically Chelsea's seen that his best days are behind him? I don't want to criticise him too heavily, but he was involved in obviously some of the mistakes at the back for Arsenal last night. So yeah, guys, I thought I'd throw that one out there for you guys that are Arsenal fans. And if you're not an Arsenal fan, you're still entitled to have an opinion about it. So let me know in the comments below. On to Wolves, who are doing absolutely brilliant, guys. We've got to take our hats off to Wolves, because they have done fantastic up to now this season. And the reason I say that is because one thing that bugs me is when we keep hearing pundits and fans keep coming out with the old cliche that clubs like Burnley, Wolves, whoever, shall we say, the clubs that don't get in the top four in the Premier League struggle to do well in the league when they're playing in the Europa League. And obviously Wolves have completely shown that theory up in this season. I have witnessed it myself with my own club. Bolton obviously when they were in the Premier League did manage to get in the Europa League, and I've seen it. They got in it twice, and both seasons that they did get in it, they did struggle in the league. So it is a valid statement to say that clubs that are in the Europa League can struggle in the league. But Wolves have only been in the Premier League, I think this is their second full season, or third. If you're a Wolves fan, let me know in the comments. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's the second season. But yeah, they're doing well in the league and in Europe. An absolutely fantastic result last night. Even though they got beat, they scored 2 away goals, made sure that they did enough to keep control of the tie and make sure that they got through to the next round. And that is obviously for Wolves fans brilliant, and for me as a UK football fan wanting to see all UK clubs do well in Europe, I've got nothing but praise for Wolves. They've done brilliant, and hopefully they will keep marching on in Europe. Finally, we go to Man United, who got a great win at home. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say, oh, well, it was only Bruges, which it was, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And obviously, with the seasons that Man United have had in the last couple of years, it's a positive. It might not be one of the biggest European clubs, but like I say, you can only beat what's in front of you. And United achieved that last night with an absolute emphatic 5-0 victory, and made sure that they got the job done and got through to the next round. Which, like I say, for United fans, it's got to be a positive, because obviously there has been a lot of negativity around Manchester United in the last couple of seasons. So yeah, I'd love to see you guys keep marching on in the Europa League. I know it's not the competition that United fans specifically want to be in, but it's still a European competition, and it's still a potential way of getting back in the Champions League. For a club like Man United, that is obviously something they aspire to. So yeah, hopefully United will continue to march on, and if we can get obviously the last three UK clubs in through the next round, then we potentially could see an all British tie in the quarter-finals, which would be very interesting and very exciting. Me personally, I would love to see Rangers play Man United, which would be a brilliant tie. But obviously we can't think that far ahead yet, because there's still games to play. So guys, a quick look over the Europa League draw. Wolves have drawn Olympiacos, which is a tricky tie. But to be fair, Olympiacos won't know a lot about Wolves, I don't think. And Wolves do know a lot about Arsenal, so they can obviously use the games that Arsenal played against Olympiacos to kind of gauge, how they're going to go about the fixture of playing Olympiacos, and obviously trying to get a result in that. And I think Wolves, the way they're playing at the minute, they're more than capable of it. So fingers crossed, Wolves will go into that tie with the edge, and hopefully that will be enough to get them a positive result, so that they can actually get into the next round, which would be absolutely brilliant for Wolves if they could get to the quarter final. I mean, to get to this stage for Wolves is brilliant, but if they could get to the quarter-final stage, well, that, do I need to say much more, guys? It'd be brilliant. It really would. Obviously, Rangers have drawn Bayer Leverkusen, which is obviously a tie that I know, speaking to some Rangers fans on social media, some of you guys are a bit concerned about that tie, and thinking that obviously it's a very tricky tie, but it's more than doable for Rangers. Don't think that you guys can't do it, because one thing I'll say about Rangers is that one thing that I've noticed this season, and obviously a bit of last season, is that Rangers seem to slip up when they're playing clubs that they're expected to beat, but yet when they play clubs that obviously are in a lot stronger position, shall we say, without any disrespect to any other clubs, Rangers do raise their game. So for me, I think Rangers are well capable of getting through in that tie. So fingers crossed, guys, Rangers will do that and get through to the next round. So if you're a Rangers fan, stay positive, because it's very, very possible that you guys will raise your game and obviously give Bayer Leverkusen a real go, and hopefully get into the next round. And finally, we touch on Manchester United, who have got what I would say is probably the easier draw in the next round, playing Latsk. Now, this is a club that I am not mega familiar with, and I had to look up their name because Latsk stands for Linzer Athletic Sports Club. And I looked that up, guys, because it's not a club, like I said, that I'm very familiar with. So I thought I'd look their proper name up so I could share it with you guys. But yeah, because I'm not very familiar with them, and I don't think that they get into the latter stages of European competitions very often. I would say that is probably the easier draw for Manchester for United, and hopefully we'll make sure that they can get the job done and get into the next round. But hopefully United will do that and not look past it. That's what United fans will be looking for, that the players do not look past that fixture, because obviously on paper it looks an easy fixture, but obviously games are not won on paper. So fingers crossed, United players and the manager will go into that tie with the respect that it needs and get the job done. So yeah, there you go, guys. Just wanted to have a quick look over at the Europa League results, and obviously the fixtures that have come out of the draw. So fingers crossed we will get all 3 UK clubs into the next round. Very disappointing to see Arsenal and Celtic drop out, but hopefully, like I say, we will, with 3 UK clubs into the next round, fingers crossed, we will see at least 2 of them, if not all 3 of them, into the quarterfinals, which would be absolutely fantastic for UK football. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Hopefully you'll join me on future videos, and there you go. Take care for now, guys, and bye.